What's going on, everyone? IPG here, back for another episode. Oh, here for my week one, or I should say round one, because we're doing rounds, not weeks. Round one of the NPL Draft League. And I am up against Salemander. We do not have team names for this draft league, but I'm just going to call him by name. Looking at his team was like a really bulky and phased around a few Pokemon. His team was Toxapex, Magnezone, Cloyster, Flygon, Wobbuffet, Leafeon, Mega Heracross. Of course, I put both these two up here for team building purposes. Skarmory, Durant, Suicune, and Alolan Sandslash. Originally, this was going to be Primarina, but did not have enough points, so we ended up picking Alolan Sandslash. And it's honestly made my team builder a whole lot easier to do. Of course, his first round pick, I don't think that this is in order, but anyways, I'm just going to go down the list of how possibly they could be threats against me. Of course, Toxapex. We know how it all is. It's very bulky, very hard to face against if you don't have like a good psychic or electric type Pokemon to break through this thing. Then this thing stays on the field forever, poisons you, just stalls, turns out until you die, and then you end up like forfeiting the game. But Toxapex, I really don't have much trouble against, but I do expect this thing to come. Of course, has monstrous defense stats. Magnezone, real threatening Pokemon because it could run enormous items. Could be like different specs. Could be like choice specs or choice scarf, or could just end up being a Z Pokemon because his Z captains are Magnezone and Flygon. I did not put that down. I'm not gonna put the Z crystals on there because I'm just doing this now. But of course, his Z captains are Magnezone and Flygon, and he could run a Z crystal on this thing if he wanted to. Though I did not expect that to happen, but it could be possible. He also had Cloyster, which honestly scared me when I prepped for this team, because a Shell Smash would, and 3 moves would tear through my team. Of course, I did have Conkeldurr and Arcanine to weaken, but that's whatever. Honestly, it could tear through my team if it wanted to with the right set, and this thing was one of the things that scared me. Of course, Flygon, like I said, Z Captain, and another one of his sets on the team, because if it's not a Scarf, then it's probably going to be a Z move set, or if it's not a Z move set, it's going to be Scarf. And basing on those two sets was going to be very hard for me to prep against, so I had to prep for both of them to come. Wobbuffet, we all know what Wobbuffet does: counter, Miracle, Destiny Bond, Encore, has all these moves that can run and constantly catch you off guard. Very high HP stat to mention. Leafeon, I did not expect to come, even though it's a real fast Pokemon. Surprisingly bulky, having that real high defense stat, but I did not honestly think this thing was going to come at all. Though I still prepped for it, it's just something that I did not expect him to bring. Of course, Mega Heracross was something that I did expect him to bring. Of course, Megas are always something that I would expect opponents to bring, because there was a special pick that you honestly have to build around, and if you really don't expect the Mega to come, then there's no telling how well you could do in the battle. But I prepped against both the regular Heracross, like just before Megas, and I prepped for the Mega evolved Heracross, because of course, let alone Moxie honestly scares me, having +1 attack and then tearing through my team, and then Mega evolving, having even more attack, and then going through my team after that. Skarmory, even though it's a very bulky Pokemon, I did not expect to come. Of course, it's a hazard setter and a hazard mover, but does not have have that much offensive pressure within it. Which whatever. Durant, even though this thing honestly does not look very scary, this thing could tear through my team if I lose Arcanine. Because once I lose Arcanine, that's it. I've lost the game to Durant. And if that's what he brings to the game. Of course, next Pokemon is Suicune. I have used Suicune in, of course, the WPCL, and has different coverage moves, and comes with like different sets, which is very few moves. Honestly, doesn't put much pressure on me, but I do expect this thing to come as more of a bulky Pokemon. And its final Pokemon being Sandslash, Though this was his last Pokemon to draft, I honestly did not expect this thing to come. Though it's good to prep for it again, like I said, because it's good to prep against all 12 of the Pokemon instead of just like 6 Pokemon that you're definitely expecting to bring. Because it could catch you off guard if it brings one Pokemon and ends up sweeping you with that, and you're not prepped for it at all. But of course, having some coverage moves, surprisingly being very slow. Sandslash does not provide much offense pressure, but it's whatever. Okay, anyways, looking at my team, I had bought Despacio, the Slowbro, running a physical defensive set because it helps me out a whole lot. We're gonna go back to this team. Scald, of course, the stat move Scald and Psychic, really good stat moves to go through his team. Ice Beam does provide coverage for Flygon and Leafeon if he decides to bring those, and Slack Off if I wanted to recover HP, adding with the leftovers and regenerator ability. This thing on Despacio honestly lives throughout the whole battle, and if it lets me get hit on the special side, of course, but honestly this thing will just sit in front of the opponent and just laugh at it. Next up we have Caliente, the Arcanine. I am running a Fire Z set with Flare Blitz, Will-O-Wisp, Wild Charge, and Extreme Speed. I have this set was mainly to have some sort of bulk but still have offense pressure. Of course I ran max attack. I ran 176 speed and of course Jolly Rancher because I wanted to add speed non-Mega Evolved Heracross and Suicune, so I'll be able to deal the damage off of Suicune. I think it does like 30% minimum to Suicune. And of course, Flare Blitz is always good to have for a stab move. Will-O-Wisp, if I did not want to deal like a physical type Pokemon, like say he had Flygon and I just wanted to burn that thing instead of like kill it straight off, I could hit it with the Will-O-Wisp. And with Fire Z Will-O-Wisp or Z Will-O-Wisp, it honestly, or what it does, it raises my attack by 1 stage. And to having that would be some good offensive pressure to have against the team. Next up we have Avia, the Raichu, running a Choice Specs, max special attack, almost max speed, but timid nature. This thing honestly runs through Salemander's team. I'm looking at his team, and there's nothing that wants to come in on Raichu. Of course, Thunderbolt and Volt Switch are stab. Thunderbolt being stab move, like I said, and Volt Switch being a good switch initiative move to have. So I'm able to phase out on a Pokemon. Focus Blast is coverage move for Magnezone, Cloyster, and a little Sandslash. And I have Hidden Power Ice for Flygon and Leafeon. And honestly, with that moveset, I basically knocked down his team at least 50% to at least 50% on every Pokemon. And could like hit back again. And that Pokemon would be all gone. Next up we have Gomez the Altaria. Really cool set that I wanted to bring here. I wanted to run D-Dance, 3 attacks, but having Flamethrower as the coverage move. Course Return, like it's with Pixelate ability, is stab, and with that 20% boost in damage. Earthquake being a coverage move for Magnezone. And there's one more Pokemon. No, just Magnezone. I thought there was something else on the team that I ran. Oh yeah, Toxapex. I was completely forgetting about Toxapex. I did not realize that until I looked to the left of Magnezone when I had it written down. Of course, I ran for those two, and I have Flamethrower for mainly Old Sandslash because that thing could take Return and Earthquake pretty well. And also, I ran it for Cloyster because normally you wouldn't see like special defense to Cloyster at all. So Flamethrower could honestly hit it a whole lot harder. And I ran max special attack. Max special attack. Max attack, Adamant Nature, because it honestly tests through his team. I ran base 180, so I'm able to outspeed Magnezone. And at +1, I'll be able to run outspeed Scarf Magnezone. And just ran like 72 in HP, and then having that little 4 in special defense. Just for like a little bit of bulk to have against the team. Next up, we have Fuerte, the Conkeldurr. Iron Fisted, having Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Fire Punch, and Thunder Punch. This thing, even though it's going to be like my main hitter, I did want some bulk on this thing. And I did have leftovers. I did want to run like Life Orb Expert Belt. but I did want to have some sort of HP recovery because this thing was going to be like a bulky hitter. And so I left it at that. So max attack, adamant nature was what I was set on. I just ran that much. I ran 128 HP because I left it at a odd number, to where if he had like stealth rocks, I wouldn't die to like an even amount of hits. It would take me like an odd number of hits just to leave it in. Ran 48 in defense and 80 in special defense. No apparent reason. I just wanted some sort of bulk within Kelder to live a hit. And then last but certainly not least, we have Sucio, the tank growth, and so best with Regenerator, balancing out the Regenerator coin between Despacio and itself. Giga Drain, of course, the time move. Recovery helps a whole bunch with Regenerator. Earthquake, coverage move for Toxapex and Magnezone. Knockoff helps a whole bunch with knocking an item off, especially to find out what item Magnezone has and what I can play off of that. And Hidden Power Ice, I was going to run Brick Break on the set because he had Primarina, but of course he didn't have enough points, like I said before. I was going to run Brick Break because I was honestly scared of Reflect and Light Screen and him basing off of that and then setting up right in front of me and being able to take hits. But since he did not draft Primarina, he has no form of like defensive setting with those moves. So I just ran a Hidden Power Ice just for the Flygon to hit it. And it also helps me out with the Leafeon to it as well. And just ran a bunch of HP, max special defense, and a little bit of special attack. Because never could go wrong with a little offensive pressure, even on a defensive Pokemon. And that's it for my team. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see y'all in the post-commentary match, which will be up probably tomorrow after this is uploaded. Anyways, thank y'all for watching, and goodbye.